Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. If you're new here, my name is Phoebe Hagen, IFBB Bikini Pro from the UK, and this is my bikini recap series. So you guys have really been enjoying doing these, and if I'm honest, I've really been enjoying doing these as well, because it keeps me in like the bodybuilding loop whilst I'm not competing. So I really enjoy these. And if there's any shows that you want me to kind of recap or anything like that, please comment down below and I can do my best to give you my recap. So today's recap is the Miami Muscle Beach Bikini Pro Show. Now, this lineup was really interesting, and I say that because this was the first lineup I think where I know there was definitely one girl, there maybe might have been like one or two girls that was fully qualified for the Olympia within this show. So previous shows I've obviously done, a lot of the bikini pros were already qualified for Olympia and all that type of thing. So it's interesting because sometimes you know who potentially will be in that top 5 and all that type of thing, but this show, it could be anyone, like literally could be anyone. So it's really interesting to see who will be coming out on top, which is really good. So I'm gonna run through the list. Firstly, what I want to do is apologize for my lack of knowing how to pronounce people's names, because everyone's in the comment section my last one and even the one before, that I was horrendous at pronouncing names. So I really apologize. I hope I didn't offend anyone or anything like that. I'm just really bad at reading and all that type of thing. So I really apologize. So there's 26 girls on the list I've just counted. So looking at this list, I only know a few names on here. So I'm gonna kind of go through the names that I do know and that I've seen on the bikini lineup already, and then we can kind of have a look and see where everyone else stands. So we've got Shane Disico. I have seen her, I follow her on Instagram, all that type of thing, and she's got an incredible shape. She's got such a sharp glute tie-in, and she's very like really lovely small waist. So I'm excited to see where she kind of stands in this lineup. She's from Australia. She flew over to the US so she can kind of obviously compete in the US scene. I think she's probably going to be doing around 3 shows in the US. So it's going to be interesting to see where she lands up against with the kind of other US girls. We've got Lorna Dunbar. I think she's competed this year already. I'm not too sure if she did the Pittsburgh Pro or the New York Pro, but I know she's competed before in the bikini pro scene and she's done very well. So I'm excited to again see where she falls. We've got Corey Hitchman, which last year I think she did her pro debut in Denver, at Mile High show in Colorado, and she got second next to Ashley Coltswater, which was I was actually there at that show, and it was really cool to see her kind of get that title, you know, as her pro show, which is really cool. We've got Michelle Hurst. So she is a masters, which she's been competing for many years now, and she's, again, it's incredible to watch ladies that are kind of in that masters range and they're just like absolutely killing it. So it's really nice to see the kind of it's nice to see the diversity between all of the athletes. Like, there's so many different ages, so many different cultures and everything like that. It's really cool. We've got Liana Giamore. So that's how she says, I kept on calling her Linda last time, so I really apologize. We've got Liana. So she's been doing absolutely incredible. I know a lot of people said that her pro debut was this year. So, and her pro debut, she did get 15th place. So now she's absolutely killed it in each kind of show she's done. So again, this is so important to any bikini pros or even any amateurs. Like, if you go up there and, you know, you maybe not get the placing that you want or you feel like you deserve, you keep going, you are going to get better and better, and the judges are going to see that, and they're going to reward you. So it's just a matter of keep going and make sure you improve, and she's a literal perfect example of that. We've got Shelby Pierce, which she's competed for quite a long time now actually, and I'm excited to see where she kind of falls, because she's had a little bit of time off, time to improve, time to kind of get obviously back into the swing of things and stuff, and she's now obviously competing at this show. So really excited to see where she falls within this lineup as well. We've got Erin Stern. Erin Stern, I want to talk a little bit about her because last time I couldn't talk about her, because the reason I didn't talk about her that much was because when she was doing her routine, the live stream just kind of cut out and I couldn't even watch her like routine, so we just kind of cut it out of the video. But she is an absolutely inspiration. She's been into the bodybuilding world for many years, and like I said, she's a masters and she's competing up against obviously these Olympians and all that type of thing. She used to be Miss Figure Olympia as well, 2-time Miss Figure Olympia, and she's now coming back and absolutely killing the bikini scene. So it's really cool to see how she's gone from category to category and she's just still fit right in, do you know what I mean? And it's really interesting to see that she used to be figure, but now she doesn't fit into the figure category. So it's cool to see how the categories have changed, like massively over the years. We've got Sierra Swan, who is one of the ones that is qualified for the Olympia. She's just qualified recently, so I think she's going to be a top contender for doing this show as well, because I think she used to be, because I've seen her at a few shows before, and I remember she said that her upper body was a little bit dominant for when she was competing and stuff, and that's something that she needed to work on. And I think this year she's nailed it in terms of her balance overall. So it's going to be cool to see where she kind of lands. In the last pro show I watched her, the one that she won, she looks really, really nice and balanced. So I'm intrigued to see where she kind of falls within this lineup. And then we've got Nadia. Can't pronounce her last name, but I called her Nadine last time, so I apologize. Nadia, she's another really good contender. She did the New York Pro as her pro debut, I'm pretty sure, and so I'm intrigued to see kind of where she falls within this lineup and stuff like that as well. So let's stop talking about the list. Obviously I didn't go through everyone's names because I'm unsure on obviously who they are, but obviously we can kind of have a look at this today. I've already watched the live stream. I already know who's won. But I will say, Miami Muscle Beach has had the best live stream out of all of them so far. Like, it's actually incredible, and I think a lot of whoever obviously, you know, does the live stream, really, really good hats off to you, because it's incredible, really, really good, and that's what it should be. That's what the live stream should be, so the people that are watching can kind of like really feel like they're in the bodybuilding show. So I'll show you in a minute, so we'll just get started into it. Okay, bringing the first lineup out, and look at this live stream, like it's honestly incredible. It's just really, really nice and crystal clear, which is exactly what you want. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 7 ladies in this first lineup. Look how clear this is. So good. Okay, so we've got Laura Dunbar in the red blonde on the left-hand side. Then in the middle, we've got Shanae. Shanae's glutes, she's got very long tie-ins. Really, really good glutes though. One in the middle of Shanae. And then everyone else is actually pretty conditioned from the back. Really nice. Good different levels of conditioning, to be fair. Lots of different colored bikinis as well. Different color hairs as well. Because a lot of people always say that, you know, there's no blondes ever in shows or anything like that. And recently there's been loads of blondes and loads of bikini shows and stuff. So it's really good to see the different color hairstyles and stuff like that. Everyone's turning around kind of at different paces and all that type of thing. So I think that's one thing that could probably be improved from all of them. Just kind of turning around, like posing and stuff like that. Trying to make sure that's nice and smooth. So we've got Liana on the end, on the the right hand side. Then we've got Michelle Hurst. Oh, I've recognized someone in the middle. I think that's Skylar. Very good. See, I'm more of a faces type of person. I'll see a face and be like, I know who you are, versus a name. It's really, really bad, honestly. Yeah, everyone's really nice conditioning. Everyone's different level conditioning at this show. There's some people that are a little bit softer, some people are a little bit harder. So that's why I'm like, this show is interesting, because it could be anyone's game, because everyone kind of looks very, very different in this, if that makes sense. Okay, so third call out. Okay, so we've got another 6 girls, I think. Yes, 6 girls. Oh, I recognize, see this is the thing, I recognize people now. So Gabby, second in on the right hand side, and then we've got Shelby on the end in the pink, which I like the pink's nice. Do you know what, there's a lot of green at this show, which is weird, because I haven't seen like a green suit for a while. It looks really good though. I like a good green. There's 3 greens pretty much in this lineup, and pink has been quite a popular color recently. Okay, I think this is the 4th and final lineup. So we've got Erin Stern, second in on the right. The girl in the blonde in the middle looks familiar. We've got Serena Swan in the green. Nadia on the end in blonde. Second in on the left on the blonde. Serena looks very good from the back, and so does Erin. Really, really good, both of these. So you can see what I mean in terms of like the conditioning levels in the lower body. It's very, very different this time. So it's interesting to see obviously what is going to be for when they're on stage. Okay, so let's get into the routines, which is my favorite part. So we've got Sinead. Okay, so this is the one I was talking about where she was coming in from Australia, and she's very lean from the front. You can see she's really, really lean in the legs and stuff. She's very sharp, so I don't know if they're 100% like that, but it's an incredible shape. Really, like, you can see how like hard she is kind of in her lower body. And it looks really, really, really impressive, but unfortunately, bikini nowadays, it's really difficult to kind of tell what's good and what's not in terms of like leanness. Because sometimes I like you leaner, sometimes they don't. She's got very good posing. She's very poised overall. Really, really nice. Really nice posing. She's got good flow. And I like her suit color. It's nice because she's kind of matched towards the back of the stage as well. That's what I think is always sometimes important is sometimes you won't know, but sometimes it's good to kind of know what the background of the stage that you're walking on is, what it's going to be like, because then you can kind of either match up to that, or you can kind of like make sure that you don't clash with the back, because it can really be like hard to look at for the judges, if that makes any sense. So we've got Lana Dunbar, again really good contender as well. I like the red on her. I think she's worn red I'm pretty sure she's worn red this whole time. She's been competing and stuff, and I've never been a fan of red suits, but I think she's one of them that really does suit it. And she's blonde as well, which is interesting because I always see when people are wearing a red suit, they've either got dark hair. I've never really seen someone with like lighter hair wear like a red suit. Good, really nice posing. I think she just needs to be a little bit more conditioned in the back half. You can see there's just a little bit more condition that could be kind of kept there. Oh, interesting pose. I've actually seen quite a few bikini girls recently do that, and the Wellness Olympian, Miss Wellness Olympian, actually I feel like created that pose. I'll put it on the screen for you now, and it's incredible when you watch it. And I've seen quite a lot of people try to do this pose as well, but it is a really, really amazing pose to try and do. Okay, so we've got Liana. So, I've said her name right, hopefully. Again, she's been a great contender this year so far. She's gotten in kind of that top 6 range at every show apart from her pro debut, and I know that she'll probably do it again this one. She's got a very striking look when she like poses on stage. That's one thing that I really try and pick at and make sure that you are focused on as well, is your facial expressions when you're on stage. Oh, she had a little bit of a fall there, but she saved it. So that's again another thing you always want to try and do. If you have a little bit of a stumble, don't let it affect your facial expressions or anything at all, because the judges will be able to see. But she's got a really nice striking look when she's on stage, and that's something that I'm really, really big on. So Michelle Herr, she's been competing for quite a few years now. She's, like I said, she's a master. And again, it's really nice to see how she just goes up into, you know, the masters classes, she goes up into the open classes for pro bikini, and she just absolutely smashes it. And I think a lot of people don't understand how age isn't a number. You should go up there regardless and just give it your absolute all, which is really, really cool to see. She's absolutely incredible as well. And I love the suit colour. Suit colour is really, really nice. So this competitor is Skylar, and she's got really nice presence on stage. I love her colour suit as well. She's got good balance between her top half and her lower as well. Really, really good. I think she just needs to smile a little bit more, because you can see she's kind of like pouting a little bit, but I always think it's really nice when I see a competitor like smile, or do a mix of both, kind of like a smize and a smile. It looks so much better when you have a mix of both, if it's just one. And then probably a little bit more conditioning in the back of her legs and stuff, a little bit more. There you go, there's a smile. That looks good. So I've seen this girl compete quite a few times now, and she hasn't kind of made it in that, like, she's made it I think a few times in the top call-outs, but not as consistently as she should. And I think she's got a really, really great shape. She looks very, very small and petite, but she looks like really, really good. I really like her front shot. When she goes into her front shot in a second, you'll see. She's also got a very good back shot, you can see. I think she just needs to kind of slow down her posing a little bit and kind of like soak up being on stage, because sometimes it's really easy to just do front pose, back pose, walk to the back, walk forwards, and then done. But I think she's got good shape. So this is Gabriella. She's competed quite a few times this year already. She's gotten into that top call-out range, which again, really, really impressive, because I think this might be her pro debut season. So it's really good to see obviously how well she's kind of done within that. I know she's had to downsize her lower body quite a lot from this show to her last shows that she's done. That's been her feedback each time. And it's always hard to downsize because, you know, we build up this muscle so hard to kind of, you know, take to the pro stage, and then to not show it or to be downsized is always really difficult. But she's done a great job of doing that, and she's holding everything really well, and I think she definitely looks a lot more balanced now, which is good to see. I do think her core could probably be a little bit tighter. I know that's always sometimes a difficult thing to kind of make a little bit tighter, but I think her core could definitely be a little bit tighter. This girl's got a really good shape, really good front shot, and again, really nice color green suit, which is interesting again, because I haven't seen that many people do a green suit. She's got a very, very good presence on stage as well. All of these girls have good presence on stage. Like, I say like a lot, every time I've kind of obviously done a review, it's always been like, this girl has good presence on stage. A lot of them do, because they put hours and hours and hours and hours into the work. So if you want to make sure that you are, you know, content on stage, you want to try and make sure you focus on doing just that. Shelby Pierce, so this is her comeback, I think, since last year she was competing. And again, great look. I really like the pink suit. Again, I don't think a lot of people can pull off big. I think her and Erin and Jourdain, she's not in this show, but she's competed quite a few times in pink, and I really, really like it. And Attila's the one that can pull off big. I've seen a few pink suits that I'm like, no. She looks good. Little bit more conditioning in the back. I think a lot of these girls, I think it's always going to be the conditioning, like the conditioning in the back half is always going to be kind of like the tiebreaker. So I think she just needs a little bit more condition. But if she carries on doing more shows, I think she obviously will get more conditioned and get that kind of conditioning desired within the lower half. Nice flow, good walk, really, really nice walk forwards. Erin Stern, she again, incredible shape. She's got so much muscle maturity, which I think is what the girls that are slightly older do have the advantage on the younger girls. They have muscle maturity, they have muscle density because they've been doing this way longer. And I think that's why it's always important to understand that you need to keep, like, instead of just kind of doing one show and being done, you need to keep training, need to keep competing to get that muscle density that these people have. She's got so much density on her body, and it's really, really impressive to see. Really, really good back shot. I think she could just a little bit at the bottom. It's a little bit blurred, so I think she could probably have like a tiny little bit more conditioning at the bottom. But again, her front shot is great. And look at that confidence on stage. Like, she just owns it. Really, really good. Oh, we got a pro debut. So we got Jennifer, blonde in the blue. It reminds me of Ashlyn Little. When someone's like blonde and wears blue, it always reminds me of Ashlyn Little. She's got really, really good shape, really, really good structure. I think it's just overall conditioning, most likely. And she looks just a little bit nervous when she's posing. So I think she's, again, because it's a pro debut, it's always gonna be nerve-wracking, it's always gonna be nervous. So I think these types of shows, you just have to go in out there and just go all out and then get the feedback, obviously, after you've done the show. So I think definitely she's got great shape, great structure. You can see she's a little bit nervous. So Sierra Swan, this was the girl that I said that was qualified for the Olympia, and I think she has a very good shot. Really, really good shot. Obviously, I don't know why I'm saying she's got a really good shot because I already know what her placing was, but she's got a great shape. And like I was saying before, so she had quite a distinguished upper body, like her upper body was quite dominant. And now you can see she's really balanced between the two, which is, it looks really, really good. One thing I do notice though that she needs to get rid of is this part here. You can see her bikini bottoms goes like over her like oblique line. So one thing I always say to my girls is try and use the bottom of your oblique line as the kind of like guide as to where to put it. So you can see it here. If you put the connector just underneath, that's where you kind of want the bikini bottoms to fall, if that makes sense. Not above or like above the oblique, because it just looks a little bit odd, if that makes sense. So always try and put it underneath the oblique line. Really, really good shape. You can see her back half is really, really nicely like conditioned. You can see, so a lot of the girls I think in this show, they've had like a little bit of a blur in that bottom area, and you can see that Sierra, she's just, well, obviously you can't see it now, but you can see Sierra has that full-on tie-in coming through. It's all connected at the bottom and everything, so I think that's gonna help her a lot within this show. Really, really good shape, really good conditioning. She's got a good balance between the two. She's got good conditioning, good fullness, muscle mass, all that type of thing. So we've got Nadia. I called her Nadine last time, so I do apologize. Really, really good shape. I think this is what I thought at the New York Pro as well when she did her pro debut. She just needs a little bit more conditioning. She's got the structure, she's got the muscle mass. I think it's just a case of bringing in that tightness even more, because she's got the confidence on stage. Like her posing routine is like really, really nice and fluid. She's got really good confidence. She just needs that little bit more conditioning. I would say all over, from back to front. Just, it needs to be all around tighter. Okay, so now we are beginning prejudging. So let's see who falls into this top quarter. Again, really, really good lineup, and it's interesting because there's only one, or potentially, I think there's only one person that's obviously qualified for the Olympia already. So it's going to be interesting to see who actually falls in that top range. Okay, so who's going to get in this? It's a lot of girls, loads of girls. Can we just express this live stream again is the best I've seen it. Really, really is the best I've seen it. So I think this is something that a lot of the shows need to take into account, because it really makes me feel like I'm there, you know? Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them are? Yes, 8. We've got 8 in the first call out. So we've got, zoom in, I need to see. We've got Lorna Dunbar. Okay, so Erin in the middle. Okay, so we're bringing in Sierra's been brought in, Erin's been brought in, Lorna's being swapped out with Shelby on the end. A lot of movement. So this is why it's so interesting to see. A lot of movement is already happening before they've even turned to the back, you know? And it's interesting because that didn't happen at New York Pro really or Pittsburgh. Okay, another swap, Gabby and Sierra. So Erin's not moved so far, Sierra's been brought in. All right, let's see these glutes, ladies. Yeah, you can see, so this is what I was saying before, you can really see that there's a difference between obviously the bottom of the tie-in. So like you can see Sierra here in the green, the tie-ins are completely like, there is no blur whatsoever. It's like completely locked in, which is a really nice conditioning. And then Erin's just very slightly, you can see it is complete, but it's just a little less sharp. Tiniest little bit less sharp, but that could be the difference between, you know, a placing. So it's always difficult. And I think Erin is standing up a little bit too straight in this. So you can see the girls have kind of like a stance like this versus Erin's like this. So I think maybe potentially it'd be good if she was to kind of stand a little bit, not wider, but like, well, maybe a little bit wider to see how that looks within her back pose. Really good front shots here though. Everyone's really nice, stood up tall, so you can see that really good balance between obviously the upper body and the lower body, because it's really easy to sit into your glutes to try and make your glutes pop in your front pose, but we don't want to do that. We really want to try and make sure that we still stand up tall with a little bit of sit, but not too much where it takes away from our balance. So no movement again, they've obviously just faced them all to the back again. This is a long call out. I love how much Sierra kind of sways her hips and just owns it. Really nice. Yeah, everyone's very different, like there's small little things that could be the difference between a placing, like really small things, like obviously like I was saying, the tie-ins, the front poses, like the lines within the legs and the front poses and stuff you can see here. Obviously Erin has like a really nice line here, so does this go over here, and then Laura Dunbar has just a little bit more of a blurred line in her legs in the front pose. You can see here, a lot of people have like a lot of lines in the legs and stuff, but some people have just a little bit more blurred, which again could be the difference between being moved, having a placing taken away and all that type of thing. Oh, big move out, so Shelby's been moved in, Gabby's been moved out, another swap. So this is a lot of swaps happening, and this is why it's really interesting to like see obviously when there's not many Olympians and stuff, who falls in that kind of range that they want to see, you know? And you can even see that the shots of the glutes, even right when they do that glute shot, right at the side, you can see that come through really nicely. So it's just a small differences, really small differences between who's going to be in and not. It's a long call out, really long call out. So another swap between Shelby and Gabby. So they're really being thorough with this to make sure that they know who they want as their top 5, which is really cool to see. It's a long hold. They literally there's a long hold, and obviously everyone on the side of the stage has to make sure that they are being so like still and holding their poses and making sure that they feel comfortable. Like you have to make sure that you are focused on posing stamina, making sure that you can hold those poses for a long amount of time, because you are literally, everyone on the side of the stage has had to stay there. And it's so difficult to do that. I think you can see the girls are being very statuesque, which is great. Nice and still, which is exactly what you want to be. Good, now we're signing off. God, that was so long. But again, it also makes you appreciate every moment of being on stage, because sometimes when you're on stage, it's easy to just do face to back and it's over in a minute. So it's nice to sometimes actually like be judged like fully like doing a lot of rounds, you know? Right, second call outs, we've got Shanae, Michelle. Okay, so we've got Shanae in this call out and Michelle Hurst. I think I was quite shocked when Shanae didn't get in that kind of top call out range, but like I said before, I think it just might be she's just a little bit too lean. Because even when she kind of moves her hair back, you can see how conditioned her back is. So I think obviously if she looks really conditioned on the live stream, then she probably in person looks very conditioned. So that's one thing you just need to be aware of, that like when you watch on the live stream, it most likely they're probably more conditioned in real life, if that makes sense. But she's got great shape nonetheless, and obviously you can always go back, get feedback, and then come back better than before. That's the main thing you always have to make sure that you do, is get feedback and don't let it get you down if you're not in your first call outs or anything like that. You want to try and make sure that you just improve each time. Okay, so that is pre-judging done. So I'm intrigued to see where everything kind of falls within finals at this show. So I think all the ladies got to do their routines again, which is a really nice touch that I really like, because I think it's always good to at least allow the girls, even if it's not going to be rejudged or anything like that, it's really nice to see the girls be able to do their routines again instead of just kind of doing it being a one and done. But I do understand for the judges' part, sometimes it is, or the promoter's part, it is difficult to kind of do everyone's routines again after, if there's that many girls. It's a lot to do. So let's head into finals. So I think they're only bringing top 10 back. So everyone's got to do their routines, which is amazing, really, like I said before, but I think now they're only bringing back top 10. So let's see kind of what they're doing this call out. So Sierra's just finished her routine, and I think that's everyone. So I think they're probably gonna do a confirmation round now. So we've got Lauren, Shanae, Laura Dunbar. So they're doing it backwards. So this is what they like to do. They'll do it backwards, is to like from 10 all the way up to kind of number 1. So obviously they'll kind of judge everyone again from this kind of point standpoint again. So they're just having a look at these 4 ladies, and then they've got 5 left to look at, or 6 left to look at, sorry. So this is going to be from 10th place to 6th place, or 7. This is going to be 10. This is going to be 10th place to 7th place. So they're just obviously, I think they're reconfirming everything just to make sure that they're happy with obviously the placements and stuff, and then they'll go back into top 6 or 5. Really beautiful ladies. Everyone's so pretty on stage, honestly. Right, so we've got the top 6 ladies, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, top 6. Right, so we've got 2 pinks and 2 reds. I don't know, 2 pinks and 2 greens in this lineup. So they've swapped Shelby and Sierra out. Everyone's very, very conditioned in the lower body, which is really good to see. Like I was talking about before, like the line on the leg, on the quad split on the leg, I think that's something that really needs to be shown a lot more nowadays, because you can see it in a lot of these lineups now. A lot of the girls' legs are very conditioned, really good, nice lines coming through in all the different places. So that's something that you need to make sure that you kind of hold. Everyone's got such a good top glute, like the pop of her top glute is really so round. So this is what I was saying before about Sierra kind of pulling her connector down just a little bit lower, because you see here where all the girls kind of got it right underneath their oblique lines, and obviously just that little touch, just bring it down just a little bit more. Right, now for awards. So we've got Shelby in 5th place. I think that she'll be really happy with that in terms of obviously like coming back to stage, and she can only get better. I definitely think just a little more conditioning in those glutes and just all around. Gabby in 4th place. To be fair, I had her in kind of top 3 area, so it's interesting to see obviously her kind of come in 4th. I think probably again it will be the muscle mass thing, potentially just bringing down a little bit more muscle mass. Erin Stern, 2nd place. So Sierra has now got 2 wins this season. So that was really, really interesting to see. Like, again, Erin's a very, very good contender. And it must have been very, very close. It could, like I was talking about before, it could have been that tie-in. Sierra's got such a really nice, strong, prominent tie-in. It could be just literally small little things like that kind of make it, you know, her the winner. So really, really cool to see. A really, really good lineup as well. So that is your top 5 for the Miami Muscle Beach show. And she looks so happy. It's so lovely to see. So, well, that is your top 5. A really, really good show, and an interesting one to watch, because you don't know who's going to kind of win this show or anything like that. I mean, any show, you don't know who's going to win it. If you turn up on point, you could be the winner of any show that you come into. So really, really good show. I really, really enjoyed that. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel, because it really helps support my channel. If you are a competitor, pro or amateur, and you are looking to improve your posing, please head down to the link in the description box below and head to the posing portal, because it is the best way to improve and correct your posing. And there is honestly, in the next 10 weeks or so, there's so many things coming up. So I'm really, really excited to be able to share these with you. So let me know if you have any other questions or anything like that moving forward, guys, in the comments section below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon.